Presented by Listen Headlines, latest world news from trusted sources. Updating daily at 6 a.m. New York.
Washington Post World. August 23, 5:15 America, New York. Iraq Shiite cleric supporters demand assembly be dissolved. Dozens of supporters of Iraq's influential Shiite cleric Muqtada al-Sadr are rallying in Baghdad's heavily fortified Green Zone amid a months-long political crisis.
RT World News.
August 23, 5:11 America, New York. UN faced with record aid funding deficit due to Ukraine crisis, NYT. The conflict has distracted the West from other humanitarian disasters. Officials say the UN is struggling to tackle global humanitarian crises due to a record funding deficit. While many major powers are prioritizing the Ukraine conflict, the New York Times reported on Monday.
Wall Street Journal World News. August 23, 5:01 America, New York. Najib Razak, Malaysia's ex-prime minister, to be imprisoned after losing final 1MDB appeal. He was sentenced to 12 years for his role in one of the world's largest financial scandals.
New York Times World News.
August 23, 5 o'clock America, New York. In Vancouver, Indigenous communities get prime land and power. After acquiring some of the biggest and most coveted parcels of land in Vancouver, the city's 3 First Nations are becoming players in the biggest game in town: real estate. The Lelum development features Musqueam art and designs.
New York Times World News.
August 23, 5 o'clock America, New York. In Ukraine, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant is held hostage. 5 months after Russian forces took over the Zaporizhzhia plant, all that stands between the world and nuclear disaster are dedicated Ukrainian operators working at gunpoint. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, as seen from across the Dnipro River, is at the center of grave and growing concerns.
BBC News World.
August 23, 4:51 America, New York. Beirut. Further part of grain silos collapses 2 years after blast. Rotting grain was burning in the silos for weeks, officials say, some 2 years after the deadly port blast.
BBC News World.
August 23, 4:46 America, New York. Darya Dugina. Moscow murder accusation is fiction, says Ukraine. Kyiv says it had nothing to do with Darya Dugina's killing, as a memorial is held for her in Moscow.
Mirror World News.
August 23, 4:14 America, New York. Russia rules out peace deal as Ukraine denies killing daughter of Putin's brawn. A top Kremlin official has ruled out a ceasefire and peace deal to end the war in Ukraine, accusing the West of leaning on Ukraine in favor of a long conflict. Washington Post World.
August 23, 4:11 America, New York. Ukraine Live Briefing. U.S. warns of more Russian strikes against civilians ahead of Independence Day. The Pentagon is preparing to send more weapons to Ukraine to help fight Russian troops at closer ranges. BBC News World.
August 23, 3:58 America, New York. Crikey, Australian news site challenges Lachlan Murdoch to sue it. Small publisher Crikey says the media mogul has sent legal letters accusing it of defaming him.
Washington Post World.
August 23, 2:44 America, New York. Climate change in China hikes price of rare mushroom, a delicacy in Asia. Drought and heat waves in China have reduced harvests for the matsutake mushroom, a delicacy prized in East Asia.
World News. Breaking international news and headlines, Sky News.
August 23, 2:36 America, New York. Usain Bolt moves to trademark signature victory pose. Athletics superstar Usain Bolt is looking to trademark a logo of his legendary victory pose. Time.
August 23, 2:23 America, New York. Singapore's half-hearted concession to LGBT rights may make real change more difficult. Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong announced Sunday that Singapore would repeal a law that criminalizes sex between men, but it wasn't all good news for LGBT rights.
Mirror World News.
August 23, 1:55 America, New York. Woman hires hitmen to kill husband but they become friends and fake murder with ketchup. A woman identified as Anupalavi with a secret lover has been arrested after she contracted 3 killers to murder her husband but they ended up going partying with him and faking his death.